What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mindshare podcast. This is season 4, and I'm your host, David Greenspan. Additional podcasts can be found at mindshare101.com and on all the major podcast platforms. This week's episode is sponsored by Kit's Keep in Touch Systems and our friends over at the Buzz Conference. Now, be sure to follow the Buzz on Instagram at the Buzz Conference. Also, give them a visit, www.thebuzzconference.com, to keep up with everything that they are up to, including these 2 events that are coming up. Now, there's one coming up really quickly. It is called the Buzz Top Leaders Under 35 Summit, taking place on September 29th at the Mississauga Grand. And the second one is Disruption. Now, I've been talking about that a whole bunch. The dates did get changed. It was originally scheduled for September. It has now been moved to January 12th, 2023. So again, be sure to get your tickets. Go over to www.thebuzzconference.com. And of course, we are proud to have the Buzz Conference as ongoing sponsors of the Mindshare podcast. Of course, Kits is always with us. Kits is with us as a sponsor again. And I got to tell you, our team keeps coming up with just these new ways to make this powerful system even more powerful. I mean, it's one thing to be using like a bright, shiny CRM because, well, hey, everybody else is doing it. It's a whole next level when you use a CRM, which has a complete suite of marketing tools tied right into it. Email engine, with video integration and direct mail newsletters and open house registries and landing pages and action plans and websites. And I mean, the list just goes on. It just keeps getting better and better and better. So I just want to encourage you. If you haven't checked it out yet, do it. When you do it, I'm going to warn you, you might get hooked. And well, maybe that's not a warning as much as it's like friendly advice, but it's a great system. We encourage you to check it out. It's, of course, in place to help you build a lot of mind share. So go over to my website, mindshare101.com, and click on marketing. Now, as you know, we are on a push to get to 100 reviews on iTunes, and I would like to ask you, if you haven't yet, please take 2 minutes to rate the show. We're making it super easy for you. All you got to do is go to ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101. Again, that's ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101. You can give us a big 5 stars, 6 if they got them. Leave us a nice little review. Tell us how much you love the show and our guests and the content. Of course, as always, a big thank you in advance. Today's episode is number 196. She's been a realtor since 2005, and she heads the GCH team with Real Broker based in Savannah, Georgia. She is a national speaker on video marketing and will be featured at NAR's annual conference in November this year. She was named the number 1 Bomb real estate video influencer in 2019 in the consumer education category and has been featured on Fox News and Time.com. She has spoken at real estate conferences around the country and is a frequent live stream and podcast guest talking about the effectiveness of video marketing. She's an Amazon best-selling author of YouTube for Real Estate Agents. Learn how to get free real estate leads and never cold call again. Joining me on this episode of the Mindshare podcast is my friend, realtor, YouTube expert, speaker, author, Karin Carr. Karin, welcome back to the Mindshare podcast.
Dude, I need an intro like that every day of my life. I feel so good right now. I'm like, dang, I'm a rock star.
You are a rock star, though. Come on. You're doing some awesome stuff out there.
And by the way, your voice, like, I know you in real life and you have a great voice, but I didn't realize how amazing you sound until just now. And it's like, holy cow, you sound like a voice actor. You sound like a radio DJ.
You're making like my cheeks the color of my hat at the moment. Thank you, Karin. Thank you. So tell me, what's shaking in your world lately? Like, what has been new and exciting? Because I know you always got so much going on.
New and exciting.
Yeah.
We now have 12 chickens. So we
okay, I didn't expect that one. Tell us more, please. Tell us more.
We used to live in a neighborhood that had a homeowners association, and during COVID, we kind of moved out to the country. We moved all of 5 miles away, but we have 6 acres out in the country, surrounded by woods. So we have this, little urban homestead going on out here. And we started, the house that we bought had a chicken coop. So I said to my husband, like, we're going to get chickens. How fun would that be? And it took us a whole year before we got any chickens. And any of your listeners who have chickens know this phenomenon called chicken math. you say, I'm going to get 2, which turns into 12.
Why?
So we bought 4 because they were so much fun. Then we had to get more. And then the most recent thing was one of the chickens decided she really wanted to hatch these eggs and become a mama. There's just one small problem. We don't have a rooster. So those
Oh.
eggs are never going to hatch because they are not fertilized. But she would sit on these eggs all day long thinking they were eventually going to hatch, and they weren't. So after 4 weeks of her sitting on these eggs, we went to Tractor Supply. We bought 4 little baby chickens. And at, 3 in the morning, I went and I lifted up her tail and I shoved the babies underneath and I pulled
No.
the eggs out. She woke up in the morning and was like, the eggs hatched. I'm a
No.
mom.
Oh my God.
So adorable. So now we've just been watching all summer, watching her like teach these little baby chickens, like, here's where we go to get food, and here's where we go to get water,
That's
and
so
this is
funny.
how we peck and scratch in the dirt, and this is the pecking order, and you're not at the top, you got to get to the back of the line, girls. It's been so much fun to
Oh
watch.
my God. I thought you were about to say
So
you bought her a rooster. I thought it was like, that is like real cool of you, but
nope, no roosters, because I
I
didn't
guess,
want the constant 50
yeah,
times a day,
this
and
is
I
true.
also didn't want to end up with 100 chickens. So
So
this
there we go.
way,
Chicken math again. Very smart.
right,
Strategic.
right.
Strategic. I like that. Now, can we turn that stuff into like content? I guess we could, right?
We
Now,
could.
this is the funny
In
thing
fact,
though. Like all jokes aside on that, there's a lot of people who sit back and go, "What am I gonna? How does that turn into content? How do I use that and share value or inform people on stuff?" I mean,
so
I'm looking at
I
it going,
live
"You
in
could teach me about
Savannah.
chickens, right?"
Right. I mean, I live in Savannah, and
Yeah.
my channel is geared toward people that are relocating to the area and want to learn more about it and decide where to live. And I absolutely have done videos about what is it like living in the country versus living in downtown Savannah, which is a
There
city.
you
Do
go.
you want to live in an urban area where you can walk everywhere, but you have no parking, there's nowhere to put your car, you don't get a yard, it's an urban area versus 20 miles outside of the city, you can have acreage and it's very affordable. And do you want to become more self-sufficient? Like with the cost of food going up, do you want to have this big old garden where you can grow your own food and not be paying through the nose for it and be healthier and raise your own? I mean, I haven't had to buy eggs now in well over a year, and these
There
organic
you go.
farm raised eggs are 3 million times better than anything you would buy at the supermarket. So yeah, we totally turned that into a few videos. I
Well,
mean, I didn't make my whole channel about chickens, but it is, what is
it's
it like?
insight. Yeah, I like it. I like the
Yeah.
spin on that too. And I think everybody tuned in. I think it's important you pick up on that, right? Like there's little things that we do in our everyday life that are they're what make us happy. They're part of our world. And a lot of people will look and go, well, why am I like I'm not that important or I haven't got a lot to say. But I mean, like we just took a conversation about chickens on a live podcast and we can turn that into content on a video and attract more people to look at us and watch us. Maybe not even caring to learn about chickens, just wonder why we're talking about chickens. And all of a sudden you got eyeballs. And well, we call that building Mindshare. So, um, but Kara, with that and looking at like everything, like we talked about, like again, like speaker, author, realtor, YouTube expert, mom of some chickens. You got a lot going on in life. Like for real, the jokes aside, like are you pulling your hair out with everything you've got to do in a day to day, or are you getting time to enjoy life? Like, how do you make time for everything that you're doing?
This is a great question because for the longest time, I struggled with this hard. I've had a lot of conversations with people about this. When you are the solo real estate agent and you're trying to figure it all out, you're doing everything yourself. You can't really justify hiring anyone to help you because you don't have any money coming in at the very beginning. So you learn how to do all this stuff yourself. And it got to the point after, I don't know, 12 years or so in the business that I knew how to make a website and how to blog, and I knew about SEO, and I knew how to make videos and edit videos and publish them on social. I knew how to work my CRM and send out blast emails, and I could do all of this stuff myself. And then when I thought about hiring somebody that could help me, and this is the part that we all
Hmm.
say is
Hmm.
it would take me so long to teach somebody how to do it that it's shorter if I just do it myself. And I stayed in that mindset for a very, very long time. And it eventually got to the point where my business coach said, the longer you continue to tell yourself that story, the longer it will be before you ever have a break because you are literally doing everything yourself. and you're telling yourself this story, which is freaking not true.
Mhm.
And finally, one day I had this realization. If I am going to make the landing page, why don't I just go to loom.com and make a screencast of myself making the landing page? This will be the last time I ever have to do it. And then I will send the video to the assistant where I said, okay, here I am on lead pages and I've logged in and here's my username and password. And I go here and I click this and I pick this template and I do this and it connects here. And this is how it all works. It's a 20-minute, half an hour long video. That's the last time I will ever have to do it if I take the time to train the new person. Now I have a team. All these people are doing stuff. Oh my gosh. I'm like, why didn't I learn how to delegate much sooner? So now I work about 35 hours a week is a pretty big week for me. I'm really trying to keep it
Okay.
around 30 hours a week.
So you've actually been able to cut down the amount of hours
Oh,
you're
yes.
putting in because you've been able to leverage other people to help you get things done. And so
100%.
now from a and again, I've got this whole thing, and a lot of my listeners know this stuff, but and I actually talked about this when we were together back at EPMX there. But from the stage was, we can't manage time, but we can empower time to manage us. Right. And just having that ability, like, so
Agreed.
when we talk about this thing of like time management, it's like, well, I can't control the clock, but if I leverage it accordingly and I kind of like plan everything out properly, not only can we get everything done in business, but we can probably be able to delegate a little bit more to people and have more opportunity just to enjoy.
All of that,
And there's
100%.
the balance, right?
And how much time do we waste doing things that are either completely unimportant or you think that you can multitask, but I'm here to tell you, you can't. You can't multitask. So if I'm trying to, I don't know, edit a video, but my phone is blowing up with notifications and I keep looking at it and then I stop and I answer, how well am I editing that video? It's going to take me 3 times longer because I'm
Right.
constantly being interrupted. My favorite thing is to put my phone on airplane mode. And people get mad. Like I had an agent call me and say, I've called you multiple times today and it just goes straight to voicemail. And I said, yeah, I was in a meeting. I put my
Yep.
phone on airplane mode. I don't stop what I'm doing to answer you because you're more important than what I was doing. You can wait. You can wait an hour for me to return the phone call.
Okay, love that, right? Like, that's the whole idea of I love what you're saying about multitasking. And I mean, like, I have this conversation with my wife Jennifer all the time. She's like, "Oh, look, I could do 2 things at once." Like, she can. She's great with this stuff. But when we call it like realistically, like speaking with clients and dealing with business, like you got to be focused. You got to be all in that moment for that person, and that's really, really important. And the mindset to that becomes, being proactive instead of being reactive.
Yep.
Because if I do pick up that phone every single time it calls, right, I check out that notification every time it goes off. All I will do all day is exactly that. I will not get anything else done. And we're all in the exact same boat with that. So I think the takeaway from that being, it's the control around what you're doing within the time that you're doing it,
Yep.
right?
And it really is a deliberate, conscious choice to make of how am I going to think about time and how am I going to react to it? Am I going to be in control of it or am I going to allow it to be in control of me? And in the society that we live in, people feel like, well, if I send you a text, you should respond immediately. Who says? Who says I have to respond to your text
Yeah.
immediately?
Like, I'll
I
say if the
didn't
house is
ask
burning
you.
down or you're in the middle
Yeah.
of like a back and forth on a multiple offer, I kind of
Yeah.
get the quick responses. Outside of that,
Okay.
no.
Yes. That's an extenuating
Yeah.
circumstance. Is it like that 24 hours a day? No. And so we tend to say, well, if that's how it is, that's how I have to be all the time. But then the more that you do it, the more you train yourself that that is your normal MO. And then the
Hmm.
harder it becomes to break down the line. And
Right.
so I'm like, I have calendar appointments of this is when I check email. And I
Yeah.
don't check
Me too.
email all day long because I know myself. I will get in that inbox and I will freaking be in it all day long. And so I had to say no. From 7:45 a.m. to 8:15 is when I check email and then I do it again at 4 p.m.
I mean, the times vary here and there throughout the day, depending on what's going on, but I'm bang on exactly with you there. It's not an all day thing. It can't be.
It can't
Oh,
be.
but hold on, I just got to check this. Like, you can't do it that way. Now, all of that, and we talk about the amount of things there are to do, and we talk about time. We talk about, all the different duties and the many different hats we wear, mindset is always crucial. And we know that, the littlest things in our day can throw somebody's, like, it can just throw us right off. It can throw somebody's entire day off, be it checking a notification on social media, be it seeing an email, be it seeing something your competitor's doing. How do you stay positive and stay focused in the face of anything going on?
I have become a big advocate of scheduling things on my calendar very intentionally. And I did not do this until like within the last year.
Okay.
I remember I had a team leader at my office who said, if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist. And she showed me her Google Calendar and it was all color coded.
Yeah.
And that caused me so much anxiety just looking at her it wasn't even my calendar. I was looking at her calendar and it was like, no, I need to be spontaneous. I need to feel creative. I need to do stuff when the whim strikes. And then I got to the point where I was working crazy number of hours and something had to give. So I got to the point where usually on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon now, I sit down and I make a big list of what are all of the things that I want to get done this week. And then I go to the Google Calendar and I time block them in. And each day I will also say, what are the 3 things that I absolutely have to get done today? No excuses. They just got to get done. And I'll write it down first thing in the morning. And
Mhm.
then at the end of the day, I look and I'm like, did I do all 3 of those things? Now it's very, very rare that I don't get those 3 things done because as I do it, I cross it off the list. And I have this piece of paper in front of me where I've crossed it off. So I'm seeing visual evidence that I do what I say I'm going to do. I am a person of my word. And if I say I'm going to do it, I do it. And so it like tells your brain that
Mhm.
I'm a person of integrity. I do what I say I'm going to do. And when you see it reinforced over and over and over again, eventually it's like if I write it down, it's as good as done. It's getting happened. It's going to happen because I don't back out because I just didn't really feel like it. I wanted to go sit out on the deck. It was a nice sunny day. It's like, well, okay, so I put an hour in my calendar when I was going to take time off to eat lunch. And if I want to sit on the deck while I'm eating lunch, that's cool. But I don't not edit my video because I wanted to go sit on the deck.
And this is the idea. This is about scheduling meetings with yourself, pretending like there is actually somebody else there, and you've got an obligation to stick to it.
Yes.
And I love what you're doing there, and I love the fact that you've taken this on, and because from a mindset perspective, that's exactly what sparked me when it came down to this whole, this whole mo about the way we empower time to manage us, how much we get done, and now I'm just me being me maybe, but whatever, brash enough to say to like most people, I will get more done today than you will this week. I guarantee you that. And it's not because I'm better, smarter, or anything else. It's because again, it's the MO in which we operate, that method of operation to our day and what's got to happen and when. So like this time is going to be this. We're going to get that done right now. That's what we set out to do. It's going to get done. Bang, move on.
Right.
Now, as we talk about mindset, right? And I love how you brought that right back to time. I really, really do, because to me, that's like foundational to everything we want to accomplish. Um, so many people do lack the self-confidence to try new things, and this includes getting on video and just putting themselves out there. And I guess the first question I got for you here, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff I want to tackle here with you when it comes to like leveraging YouTube for your business. Um, but why does everybody need to be using video right now? And why is it the obvious secret to a wildly successful real estate business?
Well, everybody knows that they need to be doing video, right? So I don't think I even need to belabor that point at all. My favorite platform is YouTube because it is a search engine. And
Okay.
so
Yep.
people are in the market to do a real estate transaction, or they're at the very beginning fact finding phase. And they get on Google and they start searching for stuff. They don't go to Instagram and they're looking for like who's the best realtor in town. Maybe they'll see you show up in their feed,
Hmm.
but they don't go to Facebook or go to Instagram consciously looking for that information most of the time. They go to Google, and Google owns YouTube. Google wants YouTube videos to show up on the first page of search results. When was the last time you did a Google search or a Google search and a Facebook video showed up on the first page of search results? Never. Like it just doesn't happen.
Right.
YouTube videos show up all day long on the first page of Google search results because Google owns that platform. So if you're going to make the video, I want to put it where the eyeballs are, and I want to put it in front of people who have intent. I could make videos and put them on social and hope that after they saw me for years and years and years, eventually when they're in the market, they would remember me. And that's all awesome. But if I make the videos to put on YouTube, where I am making a video that intentionally is going after someone that says, I'm in the market. I need to buy or sell a house
Mhm.
in the area that you service, then I get immediate gratification. I was so funny. I was filming my YouTube video yesterday. I had it time blocked. I am recording. For whatever reason, I forgot to put my phone on do not disturb. And it rang and I looked at it and was like, something told me to answer. So I did, and my camera was still rolling.
Oh, no.
And the guy said, "Oh my God, is this the Karin Carr?" And I said, "Why, yes, yes, it is." He goes, "I feel like I'm talking to a Hollywood celebrity. I want to sell my house and move out to the country. And I told my wife that we were calling you." So we had this awesome conversation. Basically, we're going to get two transactions out of this gentleman. He wants to sell and he wants to buy both in the same market. Those come because of YouTube, not because of my Facebook presence, not because of my LinkedIn posts, not because of my Instagram reels. Those come because of YouTube videos. So for me, like hands down, it is my platform of choice.
I remember, I don't know, a few years back when you said that to me, and it was like this big, like aha moment when you, I mean, and however it came out, pretty much like you just said it, but like YouTube is not a social media platform. YouTube is a search engine. And it was that little mindset trigger where you go, I'm using this thing all wrong, right? Like the way I'm titling the videos, what I'm putting out there for content, like the frequency. And I want to talk to all this stuff, right? Because I think
Yeah.
that it's important for people to learn because I still to this day, and we put a lot of content on YouTube, I still think it's a beast of a platform, and it is not it's a tough nut to crack, right? But I also would say that you're probably sitting there going, no, man, it ain't that hard. Cause like you've mastered it. Like you do a great job with it. And that's what I want to really pull out today. I mean, a little bit of my own personal learning, but I mean, as I talk to you, on a regular, like, and I'll ask you these questions or even just listen to the content, like I'm going, oh my God, like it's such an epiphany to the fact that you got to treat it like a search engine, not like a social media. And to the things you
Yes.
just said there, I'm sure there's a few people that could probably sit back and say, well, no, people do go to Instagram to search for a realtor. Like not like that though. People are going to Reels and they might just swipe through Reels. People are not searching Realtor necessarily, but they will go to Google and push that in. And again, because Google owns YouTube, bang, there goes the YouTube videos. Hence the reason why, again, we want to put those up. Right.
Yep.
So we know why YouTube's a must. How does it help me eliminate the need for the cold call, the door knock, asking for referrals?
It 100% eliminates it once it starts to work. So it takes a little while before it really starts to kick in.
Okay.
Especially if you have a brand new channel, or let's say you have had a channel for 3 years and there's nothing on it but videos of your dog. So I decide, okay, I'm going to start using it for business. I'm going to start making real estate videos. It's going to take a while for you to have any authority in the eyes of Google and YouTube before they really start to say, okay, we're going to, push these videos out in front of more people. But then once it starts, I have not made a cold call in 5 years. Like I
Really?
just have not. I have not, and I will not. And the agents on my team are very proud that they're like, I've never made a cold call in my entire career. So the very first agent that I hired on my team was newly licensed. She's like, I've never made a cold call ever. And she is going into her 5th year now. So it 100% works if you decide that you want to put your effort into it. But people approach it like social media. So they get on YouTube and they're like, hey, everyone, look at me. I am an amazing realtor. Here I am putting my for sale sign in the front yard. Oh, enough about me. What do you think about me? And we make it just so blah, slimy and so self-important. And it goes over like a lead balloon on YouTube. Nobody cares about that.
Right.
They were doing a search. They want to be entertained. They want to learn something. They don't care about you. They want to know what's in it for me if I watch this video. So most people that are putting up content that gets no views, when I go and I look at those videos, it's like, well, I wouldn't watch it either. It's boring as hell.
Mm.
And all you're doing is talking about yourself. There was one agent who posted a video in my Facebook group and said, "Will you give me some honest feedback on this?" And I started to watch it and I said, "I am at the 1 minute and 39-second mark. You have yet to talk about anything except yourself.
You
How is
know,
that going to bring you a client?"
I
It's
want
not.
to, it's funny as you say that, I'm like thinking of the way I search for stuff. Now, I want everybody to picture this right now. Okay. You are at home, you are working, you are somewhere, and you think to yourself, how do I do that? What do we normally do? We go to
Google.
Google and we type it in. In fact, I will go directly to YouTube instead
Right.
of just Google now. I will go direct to YouTube because, the joke is like YouTube University, right?
Right.
I will go there. I will type in, like, for example, how to change the oil on my Harley. And I will give the specific model of my bike.
Yep.
And like a slew of videos will come up. And I'm processing this in the way I go through the search. And again, that's what I'm trying to get everybody listening right now to do as well. Think about that thing that you wanted to figure out how to do, be it a recipe, be it whatever. You go there and you find the video that's going to be most applicable. And Karin, as you were just saying, I don't care about all the hoopla. Tell me what I want to know. I'm sitting there. I've got the oil on the bench. The bike is ready to go. Everything. Just give me the steps I need.
Yes.
That's the
And
key.
if
You
you're
got to
gonna
bang
do
on
this
those.
big vlog showing me it's my daughter's first day of school, and here I am taking her in like 2.5 minutes, we haven't started the damn oil change yet, they're not
Right.
gonna tolerate that.
That, yeah,
So,
and that's exactly what I was
y
processing as you said that. I'm
yes,
like, yeah, right.
you can incorporate your personality into these videos, and you could do like a little quick shot of like, "Whoa, my chicken is squawking like crazy," or something, and they'll find that entertaining, but we gotta get to the point. So
Yeah.
when we start this video, we have to remember what did they search for in order to find this video? And I gotta get to the point quickly or they're gonna leave.
So, how do you suggest people get comfortable on video? Because I think that that's one of the things. Like when you ask people, you're like, "So what's the deal? Like, why aren't you doing it?" They're like, "I know I need to do it." And just so what you said before, like, we don't have to talk about that. Everybody knows they need to be on video.
Yeah.
Yet most people will not get on video because there's again that fear, that discomfort, that oh my god, what are people going to think? Like, what? Just any quick tips you got for somebody to say, "Hey, listen, do this. Get yourself comfortable by doing this." Is you just turn it on and go.
Sure.
Okay,
Okay,
I
so
like that.
most people are they're afraid that, they don't look good enough to be on camera.
Mhm.
David, what color was my hair when we first met? Do you remember? Because it was not silver. It
Blonde,
was probably either
brown,
blonde or
blonde,
brown
blonde.
or some combination thereof,
Yeah.
and I decided, "You know what? My hair is mostly white. I'm gonna stop dyeing it," and I literally let it grow out without doing much to camouflage it, except for the first 2 months, I did wear a lot of hats. But after it grew out maybe this far, it was like, "It is what it is," and I just let it grow out. Not one person said, "Your hair looks awful. You should go hide in a cave. How dare you?" In fact, the vast majority of people were like, "I wish I were brave enough to let my hair go gray." It's so
Right?
publicly like, "You go, girl, more power to you." The
Good for you.
overwhelming majority of people either said nothing or said something very encouraging. Now, I put on 20 pounds during COVID like everybody else. I
Oh
was
my god.
eating bread like it was a full-time job and I
Right?
gained 20 pounds and I hated it too. But if a client called me and said, "I want to buy a house. I am flying into town on Thursday and I'm leaving on Monday and my budget is $2 million and I want to be under contract by the time I go away." Am I gonna say, "Well, gosh, I'd love to help you, but I need to lose 10 pounds, so I'm not leaving the house." It's so dumb when we frame it like that, right? But
It's
when you
so true.
refuse to make a video, that's essentially what you're saying. You're saying like, "I'm not
The
going to
parallel
help
is great
you."
right there.
Yeah, it's like, "I'm not going to help you because I need to lose 10 pounds." That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. So once we figure out they're not hiring us because of what we look like, they don't care. They
Right.
really, really, when they are doing that Google search or that YouTube search, they're thinking, how can this person answer my question and give me the information that I need? And if it's somebody local who actually knows what the heck they're talking about, and I like their personality, they don't care what you look like. They just don't care. So we have to stop making it into this big thing because it's not even a thing. Nobody cares what you look like. They just don't. So after I started realizing that I was worrying, oh, I'm not young enough and I got to keep dyeing my hair and I got to lose weight and all this kind of stuff. And then people would hire me and they would say over and over and over again, "Oh my gosh, I love your videos because you're funny. You don't take yourself too seriously. I love when you said blah 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 blah." And that was coming up over and over and over again.
Mhm.
And I try to be funny. Like I like to think that I'm fairly funny and I have a good sense of humor. So I would say
I
things
agree.
in the videos to be funny. And the people that enjoyed that were the ones that called me. So then I was working with clients who also had a great sense of humor. And then, they become great friends and we stay friends after the transaction. We get multiple deals out of the thing. So it just works all the way around. But
And
I'm
it makes you
thinking
you're real. Like that
you're
you
just
you get who
yes.
you see who you get and get what you see and
Yes, you're just trying to be yourself because if I were trying to be like very buttoned up and so fancy and I'm like dripping with diamonds and I pull up in my purple Lamborghini to show that I'm so important, then I'm going to attract very superficial, shallow people that I won't enjoy working with who would probably be nightmare clients that make the transaction a living hell. And then it's like, what am I doing? I'm attracting totally the wrong person because I am not being my actual self on camera. So I just find all of this so freeing. Like, I can be myself. I can be a total bonehead on camera and make stupid jokes that people will either not find funny and they won't ever call me, or they're going to think I'm a total comedian and like they can't wait to call me and they don't care what I look like. So I can literally be wearing just, a long sleeve t-shirt and yoga pants and nobody cares. And then
isn't
when
that
it
the best
starts
part though?
working,
You're comfortable, you feel
oh,
good.
like everything about it is great. And then when it starts working and you're like, yeah, I made multiple six figures this year from making stupid YouTube videos. And they don't like, I'm not talking, I hired a videographer who
Right,
follows me around and that
right.
does all this crazy editing. I don't do vlog style. I've tried. It's really hard. Like to do a vlog video, I end up with 39 different clips and then trying to edit it all together to me, it's so complicated. I literally film almost every video that I make right here, sitting at this desk, looking at this camera with this wall behind me, and I just talk.
Love the wall, the color. I love it, love it, love it.
Right.
So, okay, I was gonna ask you this, right? Like, what is the starting point? Like, okay, because you just said it like I don't have a videographer. It's not like all this stuff. Like I just did. Do we come up with the idea of like you said, it's not maybe not a vlog or maybe this, right? Do I come up with the idea first? Do I buy all the cool gadgets first? Like, where should somebody be starting just to sort of get themselves going?
I want you to think of what will my channel be about? My channel is not about Savannah real estate because if it was, every realtor in Savannah who also has a YouTube channel, we would all have the exact same specialty. It's got to be more than that. So for me, it was originally when I created the channel, it was buyers in the military who are relocating to Savannah because they're going to be stationed at Hunter Army Airfield. It was
Okay.
super specific. Then over time, we started getting more and more phone calls from people who were not in the military, but they found those videos anyway. So we kind of broadened it to, okay, well, we can anybody who wants to relocate to the area. That's fine. They don't have to be VA buyers in the military. But at the beginning, it was very, very specific. And that was so ridiculously helpful for a couple of reasons. Number one, if I know exactly who I'm talking to, I know
Mhm.
exactly what to talk about. I'm
Your
going to talk
audience,
about,
right?
right, VA
Niche
loans
market, avatar, as
and
people called it.
what is the BAH and, who pays the funding fee and all those types of questions that they have along with what is it like living in Savannah? How far away is it from Atlanta? How far away is it from the ocean? A lot of people find out that they're coming here, but they don't know where they could not pick it out on a map. They have no idea where Savannah is. And so we're telling them how cool it is here and how much you're going to like it once you get here and all of those things. So figure out what your channel will be about.
Mhm.
What will your specialty be? Who are you trying to attract? And what would be important for them to learn. Like if you're going to go after sellers, you're going to have a whole different spin on your channel than me going after buyers who are relocating because they're in the military to my area. So you're
Okay.
thinking about what they want to know,
Right.
making videos. I love to do keyword research. So any keyword research tool will be awesome. I use Keywords Everywhere because it's very user friendly and it's super cheap.
I
So if
remember
you
you
go to
telling me about that.
keywordseverywhere.com, currently it is $10 for 100,000 search credits. And
Yeah.
so I will put in something like PCSing to Hunter, PCSing to Savannah, moving to Savannah, relocating to Savannah, retiring in Savannah, something like that. And I will see how many people on a monthly basis are searching for that exact phrase. And when I find something that has like tons of search volume and no competition, I'm like, ding, 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 we have a winner. That's
No.
what I'm going to make a video about because there's demand and nobody else is doing it. There's not a lot of
That's a good
competition.
point. So go
Yeah.
search the keyword, figure out what it is people are looking for, figure out where there's a lack thereof information. You know who your audience is. Now you can tailor the content to those people.
Yes, and you do
Love
that
that.
before you hit record, because if
Okay.
you
Yeah.
make the video first and then you try to work in the keyword, it almost never works. If you
Gotcha.
find the keyword first, now it's like, okay, how so the keyword is whatever the keyword is. What is the cost of living in Savannah?
Right.
And I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to spin this video? I'm assuming it's probably somebody who is a first time buyer that doesn't have a huge budget. So maybe I will spin it from the perspective of these are the 5 most affordable suburbs for a first time buyer type thing. So I'm trying to figure out how can I make the video around what this keyword is, and then I say the keyword in the video a couple of times. Like, let's give YouTube some information.
Right.
What is this video about so that they know who is the most likely person to watch it?
Okay, now we talk about know your audience, figure out your content, and we're looking for content that obviously people are searching for that maybe there's not an abundance of information out there for. The next question becomes, and as you said, like don't just hit record, but now I'm ready to hit record. Can I just use this thing, my phone?
Totally.
Do
Oh
I
my
need
gosh, are you kidding me?
do I need like
Yeah.
the Hollywood setup? Like, do I need the gadgets and all the? I got a gimbal and a gizmo and a God knows whatever else these things are called that hold the thing steady, or can I just hey, what's up?
You just start. So everybody on YouTube, I don't care who you follow, Mr. Beast,
Yeah.
like the biggest YouTuber there, go to their channel and sort by oldest to newest videos. I guarantee you their first videos were total crap, and so were mine. I had dyed my hair black. It was a beige background, so like my face and the wall were the exact same color. It was a really poor grainy video. I had no audio. I looked like I was in a lineup for a mugshot or something at the police station. It was so, so, so bad. You
But the phone
get better
works.
over time.
Right.
Like
So
nobody starts amazing at the beginning.
what about the editing then? Right? Because like I get I've said it many times, not everything I do, but I do record a lot on my phone, just me, like my right arm, maybe sometimes some support from the left arm, but seriously, like it's that simple. I've got a little app on my phone that costs me a whopping like $3.99 a month or something. And it does a lot of what I need. I mean, there's some other stuff that we do just from from what we do as Mindshare 101 that we've got a team that helps us with content and editing and whatnot. But again, for years and years and years, it's been me, my phone, and like my fingers. You know,
I don't love to edit on my phone because I'm old and I have big hands and I can't do fine detail work on such a tiny screen. But I have a Mac computer and I have an Apple phone. So I can easily just airdrop it over to the computer and then
okay.
do editing on the computer. For me, it's a million times easier to do it that way. However, Nicole on my team, she does all of her editing on her phone. She's a millennial and it's totally easy for her. And I'm like, you do whatever is easiest for you. It
But
doesn't matter. You
from
do have to edit though. You
okay, that's what that,
cannot, yes. So everybody wants to do like a Facebook Live and then
right.
download it and then upload it to YouTube. No,
Don't do that.
no, 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 no,
Okay,
no.
why?
You
Why?
cannot do
Tell us.
that because you most likely recorded it like this. Go to YouTube and watch a video that was recorded vertically. It looks like crap.
Right.
You
Yeah, it does.
have to have it be horizontal, please. And then when you go live and you're like, Hey, everyone. Oh, hi, Shelly. Nice to see you again. Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
okay.
blah. Okay. How long did it take before we got to
Right,
the point? You can't
right.
do that. So
Like we
you've
said
got to,
earlier.
if you're going to use that video, you've got to edit all of that fluff out. Start the video where it's
Okay,
relevant.
but can you do that? Like, can we do that? Because like I've done from a simplicity thing before. I've done that where it's like I've got the video and I'll go to the top and I'll trim and I'll go to the bottom and I'll trim and I've got like
Yes.
the meat and bang, there's the video. Do I have to do all the crazy stuff with like the zoom ins and the words and all that, or like can
You
I
don't
just
have
start?
to.
Just
You don't
start like
have to, but you need to if you upload it and then you go look at I love the analytics in YouTube because you can
yeah,
go to
okay,
the video,
right,
you look at your audience retention, and it's a line, and it's like you started the video I should probably go the other direction. So you started here, and by the end of the video, it was down here, and that was 100% of the people watching
right,
down to like 20% of the people are still watching by the time we get to the end of the video. You can see everywhere that they drop off. So you go in and you click on those moments and say, okay, why did all of these people leave here? Usually it was because I said, hi, I'm Karin Carr. I'm a realtor. And they were like, out of there, right?
done,
They can't leave fast enough. So you have to figure out how to tell them that you are a licensee without telling them that you're a licensee because then they don't want to watch the video anymore.
right.
Or you took a big long gap where you said something and then you coughed and you had to take a drink of water. And then by the time you finally came back, there was a 7-second pause. They leave. So cut the
Okay.
damn 7-second pause out. You do have
Go
to do
through that and
a
edit that
minor amount.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of talking to like audience and the analytics, love that. How do I increase the amount of views that I get? How do I increase my subscriber base? How do I grow my channel faster?
Mm. You have to be better on camera is what it really comes down to. You can
Okay.
use all the right keywords, but if you start the video and you're like, hello, everyone. Today, we are going to be talking about the cost of living in Savannah, Georgia. And you look like a deer in the headlights. It is so uncomfortable for the viewer. And
Yeah.
listen, we all start that way. We all start that way. The only way you get over it is by sheer repetition. It's like learning how to play football. You did not win the Heisman Trophy the first day that you played football. You have to get out there and practice and practice and practice and practice in order to gain any sort of feeling of being comfortable and like I actually know what I'm doing and I'm getting better at it. So if you say I'm going to make videos, make one video a week for 6 months, you will blow your own damn mind. By the end of the 6-month period, you'll be like, I am so much better than I was when I first started. But if you make one video and then you criticize the heck out of it and you're like, oh, that was so terrible. Nobody will ever watch me. I'm going to go drink a bottle of wine. And then you don't make another video for 3 months. How long will it be before you get better when you do that? You got to
I'm gonna.
just
I'll say
suck it up
this.
and do it.
Like you said about football, I gotta say that about walking, riding a bicycle,
Yeah.
swimming. If you didn't try, you wouldn't have gotten to where you are today. And we all know the first time we tried, it didn't go as well as we wanted it to, right? So this is part of repetition and consistency. We know that through anything in life, repetition and consistency is of the utmost importance. Um, I will also throw it out there that I've got coaching clients of mine that took your YouTube course and through a conversation that we had, I think it was just as recent as yesterday or the day before, the conversation literally came and I was like, so how are the videos going? And they're looking amazing. Like they've been working at it, doing it, executing, like you just said, like the consistency of it. And I mean, however it came out from the conversation the other day, but it was like, yeah, at first it took us a little bit more time to edit. It took us a little bit more time to do. And now like, oh, we're like mastering this thing. And like I can tell as their coach, like they're getting better and better and better and more comfortable. And I can also see that everything they learn from you, they're actually implementing, and that's the key. They're actually
That
implementing
is
it.
the key, right?
They said what you just said. They're like, yeah, this has just become like normal for us now.
Yeah.
And I'm super pumped about that. Like I just think it's awesome. And again, a testament to their efforts, and again a vote of confidence to what you're teaching people around getting comfortable on YouTube. And I mean, I think for everybody that the minute you actually dip your toes in and you start to do it, Karen, as you just said it, you're going to get better. But if you do try it once, you don't like it, you go away from it. What's that period of time before you try it again? If you try it again, you're going to probably be right where you were here just 3 months later.
Right, exactly.
Like,
If you don't do it frequently enough, you never really make a lot of momentum.
right.
So, you've gotta just decide that you're gonna do it regularly and be willing to be vulnerable and be willing for those early videos to suck. And you know what? Nobody says you have to upload them. You could record the video, do the editing, play it back and say, "That was truly hideous. No one will ever see this," and then do it again, and then do it again, and maybe you do 10 of those. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you're like, "This was not a complete train wreck. I'm gonna just upload it." But here's the other thing is that no one's gonna see it because you've got a brand new channel that
Okay.
nobody even knows
I was
about.
gonna ask you about speaking of seeing the channel,
Yeah,
some of my Mindshare masters are like dying to like just get off the show now to just to go watch your YouTube. So I'm gonna say to everybody, stick around. We're still here for a few more minutes. But
yeah,
no, everybody's like you said, you go check it out, which is really, really awesome. But as you just said there, so you've got a brand new channel.
yeah.
I wanted to ask you about that. Like, and our whole thing is about building Mindshare and getting the name out there and trying to make sure people recognize you top of mind, etc. How do I market my channel to get more visibility? Do I spend money on it? Do I put
I
it out there
would
on my social medias? Like, what would you suggest that somebody does?
Okay, so if you already have a large following on other platforms,
Okay.
I would wait to really start telling people about your YouTube channel until you have enough videos on the channel that you would be proud for other people to see. So
Okay.
if you upload your first video and you're like, "I think that was awesome. I'm totally gonna tell my Facebook audience about it." Cool, more power to you. That's what I did. I was like, "Yeah, it probably sucks, but it's better than the one my competitor didn't make at all. So I'm just gonna tell people about it." And you can say, "I just started a YouTube channel. Go and follow me." All your friends and family and past clients and sphere and the people who already know, like, and trust you will totally subscribe to it because they already know who you are and they want to
Mhm.
support you and they love you and they will just do that out of the kindness of their heart. That's totally fine. I don't think you need to pay to market it. I don't run any ads for my channel. People find it because of the keyword research. So if they find it and you made a good enough title and an interesting enough looking thumbnail that they click on it, and then your video is not a complete train wreck, and they're like, I like this person. Now, they do not expect us to be Academy Award winning filmmakers. They're not watching your video and like critiquing it, thinking, oh, you were only shooting it in 1080p and not 4K. Like they're not doing that. But you cannot be mind-numbingly boring and you can't look terrified. And if you're just like, "Hey, I'm a real person and I'm telling you what you need to know. And oh, by the way, I'm an agent and I live in this city and I'll put my contact information down below." They're fine with that. They don't
Mhm.
expect you to be dancing. Like I'm not ever going to do a TikTok video where I'm dancing and I'm like pointing to the stuff. That's just not my
Right.
personality. I don't do that.
Mhm.
I'm just much more conversational in my YouTube videos, and it works
Okay.
just fine.
Okay.
It works totally just fine, but it will take a while before the algorithm starts to promote your videos to more content. Because here's what happens. You make the video, you put it out, hopefully you have a few subscribers. The subscribers get notified because you say, "Hey, subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell to be notified every time I release a video." So they get notified because they hit the bell, right? You get this, let's say you have 100 subscribers and only 4 people click on the video. YouTube's like, "Oh, even her own subscribers don't want to watch her channel. That's not very good." But
Mhm.
if it sent it out to 100 people and 50% of them watched the video, then they say, "Okay, so they clicked on it. Now what? Did they stay and watch the video?" If they watch it for at least 40% of the video, YouTube's like, "Okay, so she's able to bring people to the platform. They click on the video, they watch it, they stay here for a while. We're going to reward her by putting it in front of more people." So you can use the keyword research to get a foot in the door, but then your content has to actually be fairly interesting
Right.
in order to keep it there.
So I was going to ask you, I mean, in terms of like my focus for why, and this conversation came up the other day around this desire to potentially maybe, kind of monetize from YouTube off of, getting enough views, and therefore you can get ads and all this other stuff. And kind of my sort of response to that was, is that really our end goal? Is that why we're doing this? And
100%.
and I
Like
went down a
I
different road here. Hold on. What I did was
Okay.
I said, okay, so fine, you'd like to monetize, get the ads, whatever, but like, why are we doing the videos? Is it to monetize it from YouTube, or it's to get more deals in real estate? And the realization of that was, well, essentially, we started this so we could get more deals in real estate. I said exactly, right. Don't get me wrong. I'll take money from any direction it wants to come from. And so if I can run the ads through my YouTube videos, wonderful. If I could get paid for that, well, wonderful. Ultimately, I'm looking to feed the bottom line through what I actually do for a living.
Exactly, 100%. I mean, you are monetizing your channel. When somebody calls you and hires you and you make a
That's
$10,000
yeah,
commission,
that's
you're
me.
making money from your channel. It just
That's what
wasn't
I look
ad
at it
revenue.
as. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, I make ad revenue from my channel. I think my 1099 from Google was like $10,000 for 2021. I can't
Wow.
live on $10,000 a
No.
year. So,
I mean, it's nice to be able to
yes,
get that,
it's
but, like,
nice.
again, it's not the yeah, right. It's not to
Yeah,
put the roof
but
over your head
it's
income.
not that's not the goal.
Right,
The goal is
okay.
to get actual paying clients for
So
me
that
anyway.
when we look at results, like, what if I said, "What kind of results should I expect?" How do I measure that? And I know you said, again, go back and look at your analytics, watch what people are doing. Is the ultimate here, and I wanna say, like, I often say to people, like, don't measure you and your worth based on, like, vanity metrics, right? Views, this, that, likes. Like, you are who you are. Be proud of who you are. Continue to believe in who you are, and people around you will believe it as well. Don't worry about what the likes and the views tell you. That being said, when it comes to putting video out there, obviously one of the big measuring sticks is, how many views did I get? Is that the only thing we should be measuring? Is there something else you suggest that we should be measuring? Like, how do I know if this thing, like, actually did well? What just, measure, track, adjust kinda, right, as we do in business? What would that be for YouTube?
Okay, have you heard of the company Gulfstream? They make private jets, like
Yeah.
luxury private
Yeah,
okay, they're a big
I've got a few of
employer.
those. Yeah,
Oh,
100%,
do
for
you?
sure, for
Okay,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've
for
got
sure,
2.
for sure.
They're in my
Yeah.
backyard.
Yeah, yeah.
Gulfstream is a major employer in Savannah. So I
Okay.
did a video one time where I said, "Are you thinking of moving to the Savannah area because you have gotten a job offer at Gulfstream? These are some areas where you could live that are, like, within a half-hour commute of Gulfstream." That video did not get a lot of views because
Okay.
it's very, very, very specific, right? So maybe it's gotten, I don't know, 3, 4, 500 views over the course of years. If I sell 5 houses because the people who watched it and they were like, "Yes, I am moving and I am gonna work at Gulfstream and I want you to help me because you know what you're talking about." 100% worth it, wouldn't you say? It's
Yeah, yeah,
not
for sure.
it's vanity metrics. The
Okay.
number of views is totally irrelevant if your phone is ringing from clients who want to hire you for your services.
Okay, cool. So it's bottom line, this is part of your content distribution channel. This is
Yes,
one channel that you're putting content out across. It is a channel where people can get to know you and really, know you, like you, trust you, but it's like see you, hear you, learn from you, get a sense of if I like you. Are we
yes,
like the same kind of people?
yes.
Can we have another conversation? This is one piece of it. So I think my takeaway from that, correct me if I'm wrong, is don't just measure the success based on views. Be consistent about the efforts, make it part of the overall, again, strategy as to how you're building mindshare. And in time, if your phone's ringing, then things are working.
I couldn't have said it better
Okay,
myself.
fair
Yes.
enough. I like that. I like that. So another one there, and I saw a post that you put up about CTR click-through rate. Did we cover this in what we're talking about already in terms of like increasing click-through rate? Meaning if I want somebody to take action from the video that I put out, how do I get them to go to that next place? Like you mentioned, click the bell. There's other things that you say, watch this next video. What are some of those things that you would share with people?
Click-through rate is actually something different. That is when they do a search and all of the videos show up. How many times did they click on your video versus clicking
Ah,
the
okay.
video above
Got
it,
you.
right?
Right.
So if it shows up 100 times and they click on it 3 times, that's a 3% click-through rate. We always want it the higher the better, obviously.
Is there
How
a
do we do
number?
that? We do that by giving it a really exciting title.
Okay.
So a title that is very descriptive of um, this is what you're going to learn by watching this video is kind of boring. If we can make it more like a National Enquirer headline,
Right.
all the emails that I get from Inman, they're kind of sensationalized, right? They
Right.
are, I'm not going to say clickbait because that's actually what they're talking about,
Yep.
but they are definitely making it a little juicier so that we will
Mhm.
click on it and read their article. We're
Right.
trying to do that with the title and thumbnail as well. But the call to action is, what do you want them to do as a result of watching this video?
Okay. Right.
YouTube wants people to stay on their platform and watch as much of their content as possible. So I operate from the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, get them to watch another video. 20% of the time, send them off the platform to go to your website, join a
Okay.
Facebook group, do whatever.
But to increase, okay, so to then go backwards in sort of the correction there, the click-through rate, to increase that, it would
Yeah.
be, again, that title and that thumbnail are probably your
Yeah.
big 2 triggers to that.
Yep.
Cool, and the title itself, as we said, it shouldn't be clickbait, it should also not be boring. Should it be descriptive? I guess I'm answering this as I'm saying it, but descriptive of what you're about to talk about, or should it be more of a question that you're posing that people look at, I'm thinking it's probably the description of what you're about to talk about, because that's, again, where the search engine part of it comes in.
It's gonna require a little bit of testing. At the
Okay,
very
cool.
beginning, when I started doing this, my titles were totally boring. It was, moving to Savannah, 5 reasons why you're gonna love it here. Like, they were not very good, but they were very descriptive and it worked. People clicked
Okay.
on the videos and they watched. Over time, I've definitely tried to improve the quality of my titles, and then they get a higher click-through rate. So don't overthink it. Give it the best title that you can think of at the moment and just get it up there. It's always something that it's constantly evolving. You're improving over time.
You're an expert with YouTube. Are you still trying to get better?
Of course. I'm a big, so I haven't watched TV in almost 2 years now. It wasn't intentional. But when COVID hit and everything was no longer in production because Hollywood was not there and
Yeah.
nobody was recording, we just kind of stopped watching TV and started watching a lot more stuff on YouTube. And so now I love to just in the evening watch YouTube videos that have nothing to do with real estate. I'll watch like a cooking channel, or I'll watch a home improvement channel, or my husband watches all these car restoration channels.
Mhm.
And I will try to analyze, why is this interesting? Why is this holding my attention? What are they doing that's working so well? And how could I try to incorporate that into my channel? And I figure if I could just pick up little bits and pieces from what other channels are doing that is clearly working and try to implement them for myself, that I got nowhere to go but up.
You literally just walked into my next question, like, answered already. 'Cause I was about to say, like, what can I do to grow my channel faster? And I think that's a great point you just made, is, like, spend time actually watching other people's channels. Find
Yes.
out what they are doing, and this is the whole adage of learning. I mean, we talk about, feeding your brain on a regular basis and reading books, and I mean, you can read books and you can read umpteen business books and mindset books, and they're all mostly talking about the same thing, but it's a different person with a different spin, with different examples. And what you're able to do now is learn from a whole bunch of different people and dissect it and go, ah,
Right.
got it. So it's like YouTube, go watch all these different channels, see what people are doing, try to find that commonality, and then bang, bring it in and try to implement, and then continue to try to get better.
Right.
Would that
So,
be
I mean, you're watching it for the entertainment value, but you're also kind of taking notes of,
yeah.
"Oh, I really like what she did here. How could I do that on my channel?" And you're just, like, filing it away for future reference so that maybe one day when you sit down to record a video, you say, "I'm gonna try something that this person did, and we'll just see how it works." And either it works or it doesn't, but there's no failure. You either tried it and you learned that it didn't work, and so you think, "Okay, I'll try something different the next time." Or it works like gangbusters and you go, "Oh my god, I'm onto something. I'm totally gonna do that again."
Everybody knows, like, I talk about this often. I've taught my kids this, and in fact, my daughter, Leah, she's 9 years old. She came back, she repeated it back to me the other day, which was phenomenal. But it was the whole try, fail, learn. That's actually the path to success. I guess I should do like you did. That's the path to
Yep.
success, right? Try, fail, learn.
Yep.
And you just said it. It's that same process. If you don't try, you will not fail. If you don't fail, you will not learn. But when you do try, you do fail, you do learn, you will get yourself to the next place that you ultimately want to be. And that's success. And speaking of success, the question I have to ask you here, just sort of wrapping us up, how do you know it's been a successful day for you?
Ooh. If I get those 3 things crossed off my list.
Cool.
If I end my day and one of them is not crossed off, ooh, I get, like, very upset with myself. So, I wanna get those 3 things crossed off the list every single day, because when it's done, that's it. Like, I am done for the day. I shut off my phone. I don't answer text messages at 10 o'clock at night. Like, I just don't. I wanna have personal time as well, and I try to detach at the end of the day and not work insane hours.
I couldn't agree with you more. Karin, final words, tips, anything you can share to help everybody that is tuned in get out there. And we've covered a ton of ground today. I know in a short period of time, and we could take today's content and expand this into hours and hours and days of learning. But what could they do to get out there and just build some more mind share, get more market share? I mean, just final words, tips, anything that you want to share with people.
If you can think of the type of client that you want to help, the type of person that you want to attract, put yourself in their shoes. If they are just starting to think about buying or selling, what is a question that they would have that you could answer for them? And then don't overthink it. Just sit down, turn on the camera, record. It's not going to be great at the beginning, but the more you do it, the better you get. Learn very basic editing. University of YouTube, you just type in iMovie for beginners or whatever program you're going to be using. Eventually, when it starts to work, like you get your first commission check and you say, okay, I'm going to invest in a microphone, or I'm going to invest in some lights, or I'm going to invest in an editor. I'll find somebody on fiverr.com who will edit these videos for me. And suddenly you realize, okay, now I'm only spending about an hour and a half a week to create content that brings me multiple closings a month. Like, it's the best time that I spend in my business. And we just have to get out of our own dang way and start doing it, because the sooner you start, the sooner you can start to have success.
Couldn't agree more with that. Now, I did just mention about we could talk for hours and hours and hours and weeks and weeks and weeks about this and teach courses, and you actually do teach a course. And so I wanted to sort of say, where can people find you? And seriously, I do want to encourage everybody here to first connect with Karin, follow her, subscribe to her YouTube channel, and just as importantly, maybe more importantly, if you really are looking to get into this game, take her course, because I know that people are kicking ass after they take it. So Karin, please just tell everybody where they can find everything that's sort of like Karin Carr, Help Me Get Better on YouTube.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes. So you can follow my YouTube channel. I have 2 channels. One is the real estate channel for people that are buying and selling in Savannah. It's called Georgia Coast Homes. The other channel is just youtube.com/Karin Carr, where I just talk about video and YouTube and all the kind of thing to agents and loan officers and people that are real estate professionals. My website is KarinCarr.com. Karin is Karin. And yes, my program is called YouTube for Agents. We're actually rebranding it. We're going to come up with a whole different name in the fall, but right now it's called YouTube for Agents. And I have a handful of loan officers in there. The majority of people are real estate agents, but it's the same principle. So if you are a lender and you want to do this, totally fine. You can absolutely do that too.
Well, I encourage everybody to connect with Karin, check her out, follow her, again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, take the course. To my audience, you guys know that for everybody that we bring onto the show, I certainly know them. I am aware of what they are up to. We do not do this as a sales pitch to any of you. I do want to say as well, though, that knowing Karin for a number of years, having mutual colleagues in the industry, watching her on stages, watching her videos, and bottom line, having people I know that have taken her courses and are doing some amazing things, I've got the confidence to be able to say to everybody here on my show, go do this, do it now, follow Karin. Karin, a massive, massive thank you for all the time and the insights today about, mindset, YouTube, and just, chickens and good old fun and laughs. I thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure, David.
We'll be right back with you. You're either watching us live, you are listening to this recording, you're on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify. Maybe you went to my website, mindshare101.com. While you're on my site, make sure to download your free copy of the Ultimate Marketing Bundle for Realtors. This is a 31-page ebook packed with a 90-day social media content calendar in there. All of it in place to help you build more mind share so that you can get more market share. Also, if you want to talk about personalized one-to-one coaching, an in-person keynote talk for your upcoming event, and or ongoing virtual training, get in touch with my team. We will set up a consultation call, discuss what the mindshare experience looks like for you, and see how we can help you get out there and, of course, build more mindshare. Also, don't forget that our push to 100 is on. All you have to do is go over to ratethispodcast.com/mindshare 101. Again, that's ratethispodcast.com/mindshare 101. Like I said before, if they got the 6-star option, click it. But if it's only 5, we'll take that too. A little bit of review. Tell us how much you love the show. All jokes aside, I would be sincerely grateful for that. And of course, if we haven't connected on Facebook, let's do so. It's Mindshare 101. And on Instagram, at David Greenspan 101. I want to take a quick moment here to thank Virginia Munden and the Buzz Conference for sponsoring today's episode. As mentioned off the top, be sure to visit their website, www.thebuzzconference.com. Follow them on Instagram at The Buzz Conference. Keep tabs on all of the awesome events that they're always hosting, along with getting the latest copy of the Buzz digital magazine. Remember these 2 events coming up as well. Okay, the first one is the Buzz Top Leaders Under 35 Summit, taking place on September 29th at the Mississauga Grand here in Toronto. And the second one is Disruption, which again, it was originally scheduled for September. It is now taking place on January 12th. In the new year. So again, be sure to get your tickets, www.thebuzzconference.com. Of course, I also want to thank Kits Keep in Touch Systems for sponsoring today's episode. If you haven't checked this out yet, just go to my website, mindshare101.com, and click on marketing. This has been another episode of the Mindshare podcast. Thank you for tuning in.